Okay, it's 7 o'clock, we'd like to get going, please.
Yeah.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. It's being recorded by Zoom for the purpose of taking minutes and Dalton Community TV. All those able, please rise for the pledge. Mr. Boyle, will you lead us in the
Sure.
pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brittany, would you do a roll call, please?
Sure, John Boyle.
Here.
Mark Stroud.
Here.
Antonio Pagliarulo.
Here.
We have our chair, Robert Bishop.
Here.
Our
Dan Esco's
town
excused.
manager.
Yeah. Dan excused.
Okay.
The public to address the board. This is a time when the public may address the board on any item listed on a meeting agenda or any issue or matter of the town. If you intend to comment on an item listed on the meeting agenda, please do so at this time, as we will not be taking comments from the audience when the item comes up for board discussion. The public address to the board segment will last no longer than 30 minutes. Each individual will be given up to 3 minutes. If you intend on addressing the board, we ask you to do the following. Please raise your hand to be recognized by the board chair. Please step up to the podium. Oh, we don't have the podium tonight. And please identify yourself by name, address, or the company/institution you represent. Please address your comments to the board chair. Please make your comments concise and try not to repeat statements made by others. Discussion or debate on any issue may not take place at this time. The chair or the designee may answer questions on procedural matters. Is there anybody who wants to speak? Maureen?
Maureen Mitchell, I'm part of the COA and the elections. I have 2 hats. And I just want to read this detail because I need some info from you. This was in your write-up for Select Board. Your power to prepare the town meeting warrant, bylaws. The Select Board is charged with calling town elections, town meetings, and with publishing the warrants for them. Now, I need to know, because I do sort of an unofficial posting here, what are the places that are the official posting?
Okay. That-
It's on the back of the draft warrant. Right now, we have traditionally had at least 5 public places, and due to the problems posting at the Dalton restaurant when it was closed.
No,
we-
there's no-
I mean,
Dalton General Store.
we have the Dalton Restaurant, Green Ridge Variety Convenience, U.S. Post Office, Country Corner Package and Variety, and the Town Hall Bulletin Board.
Okay, I would like the senior center to become one of them, because
That's
I do
fine.
an unofficial one. So could you make that, I don't know if you need to make a motion
Yeah,
to
and
include the senior
we
center.
also have permission from Kelly's Package Store to put one there also.
Right, all right, then I'd have a couple questions because I've been doing it.
Do we instruct Tom, could you just add that to the list? The senior center?
No, because we have the final warrant in front of you, as.
Does it have to be posted somewhere?
Yes.
Well, then what copy be posted in the senior
At
center?
least 5 public places.
Yeah.
We can always post it at more places, so I'm happy to make sure
Right.
that happens.
But
Okay,
it would
thank
be,
It just won't be on the warrant.
right,
Okay, that's fine.
no, it would be good that it
Yes.
ends up
That's all.
whenever.
In
it's up there.
future warrants.
Future.
Okay, let's do a motion for that in Kelly's Package Store.
Let's not discuss or debate any
Okay, I
issues
just-
Okay,
here.
it'll be done.
We'll
Okay, I just need a couple
heard it.
details, because I've published stuff unofficially here. Have you decided on the new town meeting's date?
We're gonna
We
do
will
that.
get to that in a
Okay, so
second.
you're gonna determine that
Yeah.
today, or tonight, right?
Yep,
All right, so you'll include the date and time?
Yeah.
right.
And is it going to be a secret ballot? Because there's us workers,
That
we
would
have
have
to
to be up to the moderator, I would think, yeah.
we're-
It's up to town meeting.
Yes, it's a town
Based
meeting.
on a motion,
It's on the motion at
Okay,
the town
and
meeting.
now, am I eligible to make that motion
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
meeting, that we'll do it as a secret ballot?
Yeah,
And
that's
then I can give an
Do
explanation.
what as a secret ballot?
I'm assuming the first article.
The police budget.
Okay,
Right.
the first article. huh?
Yeah, but no, just so the logistics of we're prepped, ready to distribute the yes, no pieces.
If it happens, So
Right,
he makes a
right,
motion,
but-
if the motion has to be approved by the body.
Right, but we are going to prep them and have them ready to go.
Okay.
And then we just need to be sure, and then we can quickly let the moderator know that this is how it works.
Yep.
All right, so today you're gonna define what the date is, and I'll change.
Any minute now.
Yeah, and I'll change it with what's here, at the unofficial posting that we do. Okay, thank you.
We'll make it official now, so you don't have to worry about it
Well,
after this one.
right, well, I got to erase what I got
Okay.
there.
Mr. Chairman, are you going to 5 now?
I'll wait till Tom comes back and see what's going on there.
Richard wants to say something.
Richard?
Hi. Richard Hall, 164 Green Ridge Drive. So two questions. If you approve the new date, which is fine, I won't be able to vote, which is okay. But are you going to allow comments to be submitted to be read at the meeting? Because there's going to be a lot of people that can't get to that meeting.
That would be up to the moderator. We can't decide that, so.
Okay, so that may be something to address.
I know somebody wanted to read something last time, and he said you gotta be there to read it. So I'm not sure that, I'm not gonna speak
Okay.
for Tony because I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, but it may be something to talk to him about beforehand, because, you know, just frustrating and that. Anyway, that's, then the second thing was, as we're not, part of public comments, you've now said that we can't be recognised when something comes out. Could public comments be moved to the end of the meeting, so that if we hear something in the meeting, then we can comment on it? Just a thought, you know, and again.
Yes, we'll consider that.
You see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and why I'm saying it? Okay, they were the two things
Okay.
I want to bring up.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay. I would like to just clear something up before we even start. I'd like to go over what really happened and why we are here. Last Monday afternoon, I got a call from Tom, Terry, and Heather about a complaint that it wasn't posted, that warrant wasn't posted at Dewey's in time. That we thought the meeting had to be canceled, and after we spoke to the chief, the posting was legal, because only 5 of the 6 needed to be posted. The police did nothing wrong on this, it was just because Dewey's was closed at the time they went to get that. A few minutes later, I got a call from Tom, and then he said the warrant needed to be posted 2 weeks for a special town meeting. And now, by that time, everybody's blood pressure is sky high. So, we had a conference call with Tim Zesson, our attorney, Tom and I. And Tim explained to me that if we went ahead with the meeting, it could be challenged, and it would not, you know, it was up to me to make that call. I chose to cancel the meeting, it was on me, okay? If anybody has any problems, I canceled the meeting. I know this was a big disappointment with many people. Tuesday, I asked Tom what really happened, how this happened, and how can we do it. And he gave me a couple names that said that they missed it, but I'm not gonna accept that because it's on us all, okay? Every one of us. I am not gonna take anybody's word that you can't blame one person here. We all dropped a ball, every one of us, including the select board, all the way down through. And it's an unfortunate thing. It was on there for a week. The select board thought we had a week, everything was posted, we thought we were ready to go. But it's 2 weeks for special town meetings. And I'm just asking everybody from here on to stop the blame game here. We all missed it. Pointing fingers at each other is not gonna fix anything. All we're gonna do is make each other a little more defensive. We need to focus on the fix so this doesn't happen again. We're all one Dalton here. I don't care who we are. I don't care what side of the coin we're on here. We're all residents of Dalton. We all have a right to our opinions, and we should be respected for that. And I'm asking in the future, just to double fact check, and before you just say anything to the press or anything, let's make sure we get it right. Because there's different things out there in different presses in the Eagle and iBerkshires, and it just causes suspicion that something's not right. And the official thing is, I canceled the meeting because I didn't want to take a risk to have that over again. We spent enough money on special elections and recalls and all that. I didn't want to have to go through all this over again. Okay? And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay, Mr. Boyle, number 5.
Number 5, Mr. Chairman, I move that a special town meeting be scheduled for 6/26/25 at Wacona Regional High School at 7 p.m.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
I was just gonna say, are you gonna cover the contents of the warrant and just say as presented?
As presented, yeah, John.
Which is the same as it was for June 6th.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay,
And it's still at 7?
7 o'clock.
Okay, you're encouraging people to get there early then,
Yes, please.
to check in, okay?
Okay,
So
Same
what we
as
had posted,
June
the
9th.
only change is the
2/9.
date.
Okay.
right.
6/9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will be the same agenda that was prepared for 6/9/25, when the meeting was subsequently canceled.
Tony?
Can I speak to the warrant articles at all, or should I wait for another agenda item here? Can I speak to the numbers? Well, I'll speak to one then, because this came up last week, Tom. Article number 5, in terms of appropriating monies.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we aren't approving the motions and explanations at this point.
okay, I want to speak to that
But
at some
you
point.
can, yeah,
So I'll speak to it for,
and that's fine, and the select board can vote on what would be a
Yeah.
number for a motion
Right.
if they wish to.
so now?
Yeah,
Okay, good. So, Article number 5, because I think there was a misunderstanding, and I know we spoke about this at our past select board meetings in terms of monies to be appropriated. There's 2 areas. One is to fund professional, the other is for technical. The professional started at $350 an hour for 100 hours, and then Tom checked with KP and said, no, it would be $250 in terms of the amounts of money, so that brought it to $25,000 for professional. In terms of technical, if you recall, there were 2 items there. One was for testing silica, and I presented the quote to the select board in detail from Ecogenesis, which is now part of Berkshire Environmental, and that would require 5 to 6 samplings of approximately $2,000 per sample, and the gentleman there indicated you'd have to have 5 or 6 samples. That quote was provided in March, so that was a sum of money for $14K to make sure that if indeed it's approved, that would cover silica sanding. The final one, and I had mentioned a thumbnail, and she did get back to me, the individual, the principal of Berkshire Environmental, was for monitoring, air monitoring along the perimeter, and that would be for 3 monitors, several hundred feet apart over a 3-month period, and then they would conduct the monitor in terms of reporting to us. Hopefully, that money will not be expended, because I believe that the Board of Health, which we just had a meeting, can order Berkshire Concrete to perform air quality monitoring. DEP has said that. I think legal will probably have to double check that, but hopefully that money won't be expended. So again, getting back to the warrant, the total sum would be 25, 20, and 14, for a total of 45, 59,000.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to accept that.
Do I say second? Second. Okay.
Do we have a?
Where we are, we're gonna vote on the overall?
No, just, that was an explanation, John.
Yeah, I know, but where are we in the proceedings, Tom?
We need to
Mark
vote
had made
for
a
that
second.
$59,000 for that Article 5.
Oh, you mean the financial amount?
Yeah,
Yeah.
financial.
But don't we do that at the town meeting when the motion is inserted with the financial?
We want to recommend it as a select board.
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I feel duty bound to point out that the Department of Environmental Protection did not recommend soil sampling because as they say, what matters is what's in the air. And they fully expect to have any soil to have a full range of sizes of particles. but as they pointed out, what really matters is the air that is, the dust that's being moved in the air into this neighborhood. So they did not recommend soil sampling.
However, Tom, just as a counter, when I did speak to the individual at Berkshire Environmental, the air quality monitoring would monitor particulate size, and she indicated that that would be a poor monitor in terms of silica. So whether we expend this money for silica testing or not, and hopefully that third-party peer review will give us more insight and guidance that way, I would like to have those monies in the ready in terms of, indeed, we do sample silica or sample sand at neighborhoods or properties to see if it does contain silica.
Just one other thing. When we were looking at places to try to get a figure for sampling silica through air monitoring, we were led to believe it would be extremely difficult, because what they do is they can find all of the particles that are within that particular size, but then to take that sample and further analyze it would be extremely difficult, and none of the places that we contacted said that they would do that.
We're in agreement there, Tom. We're in agreement in terms of the monitoring. This silica sample would be for samples at residence.
Yes, but again, DEP said that soil sampling would not demonstrate anything, and they didn't recommend it as a measure of public health.
Well, I think for the neighbor's sake, in terms of their peace of mind, and in terms of the third party coming on, I'd be agreeable to a third party consultant peer review indicating that. But I'd like to appropriate 14,000, which.
The money would be there, and if we don't spend it, it goes.
Exactly. It's appropriated and ready to go.
Just thought
Yeah.
I thought those points should be brought
Yeah,
out.
thank you, Tom. Up to
Okay.
59,000.
Just, Tony, one other point, Article 5. The monies that were set aside for legal fees. We haven't actually, or nobody has actually committed to using Kaufman and Page, our town attorneys. We might want to seek specialized knowledge in the environmental field with that money. So what we have here is an estimate. I mean, all lawyers pretty much charge the same, but a specialist in environmental matters actually might charge more.
Much more.
Much more. Right? So just to be clear on that issue, that hasn't been decided yet. I know Kaufman and Page have environmental people on their payroll. They're a big law firm, but we might want to have to go after somebody who's a real authority in these matters and can advocate for the town. I think Mark has been pointing out that you'd like to see us get a real bulldog.
Yep.
So to be clear, we're not committed to Kaufman and Page to spend this money, even though they've been mentioned in this conversation. Dick? Okay,
Agreed.
John?
Agreed, Tom.
Yes,
Agreed?
Towns often use specialized counsel
Okay,
for specialized.
but agreed?
needs.
Tony agreed?
Yes,
All
agreed,
right.
agreed, John.
Okay, we ready for a motion?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Chairman, I move that $59,000 be approved to fund Article 5 at the special town meeting warrant, which will be held on June 26th, 25 at Wacona Regional High School.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, okay, go ahead, Mark.
You already got it.
Okay. All right, back to the original motion
Okay,
to approve the warrant as presented and amended.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve and submit to the special town meeting the articles 1 through 6 as presented.
Second?
Second, yeah.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Tom, you're on. Special, Tom and Terry. I should say Tom and Terry.
Yeah, okay, cartoon
Terry, we're
show.
gonna baptize you, buddy.
I don't have an update at this time for this meeting. I'll have
Okay.
one on Monday.
Okay.
Well, that's something we want to talk about, the board wants to talk about. Maybe it's a good time. That the board, there's a feeling on the board that having another meeting next Monday on the 16th, that's already scheduled. But then there's one scheduled for the 23rd. And our thinking is that maybe it's best to postpone that meeting until the June 30th.
We can take that up on Monday.
Yeah, we'll-
Okay?
Yeah.
Put it on, we'll put it on the.
Put it on the warrant.
Put it on the agenda, please. Okay? Okay, any future agenda items besides that?
Just one, Bob, again, and it relates to remarks to the select board, which I'd like to make, but one of the things I'd like to see us do, and Friday, I'll be going to a new select board member orientation through Mass Municipal Association. I think it's important that we have, any new board member have an orientation or a basic knowledge of what's required or demanded of the position here. We don't have a policy and procedure manual. I know communities do. I just want to bring it up for the future that we establish a committee of citizenry to look into establishing a policy and procedure manual for this board. We may not be we're not obliged to it. We're pretty much have powers within our jurisdiction or our purview, but it would be a good thing if I stepped on, I take the oath Tuesday, and then Tuesday night, I'm sitting here.
Mhm.
I think it's important we have a policy and procedure manual
We
with citizen
should have
input.
something like
So
that.
I'd like to see that on the agenda, and I'll flesh that out some more, and certainly we all should flesh it
Okay.
out. Williamstown offers that, it's not reinventing the wheel. Many communities have policy and procedure.
When you go to that class, see what they have. They may have some kind of changes.
Sure will.
Okay, anything else? Items not anticipated 48 hours before the meeting. None? Remarks of the select board.
I just had another, again, Bob, I want to reiterate, I apologize for missing town meeting. I think many eyes missed it, and hopefully that'll never happen again. On a brighter note, our Department of Public Works will have a swap shop open for a slough opening this Saturday. And we'll also hopefully have our compost up and running in July. So 2 good pieces of news in terms of recycling in the community for the public consumption at this juncture. So swap shop and compost. Thank
Tony,
you, Bob.
what is the swap shop?
It's really a soft open. There's a 4-page outline, and it's going to be where you would bring items, drop them off, it'd be monitored by volunteers.
You
and-
can't drop kids off.
No. You drop items off of good quality. Again, it's a very and then you would be able to take items.
So it's free in the
It's
first-
free. It's a
Got it.
swap shop.
I've got a whole barn full of free
Well,
stuff.
There's a whole bunch of regs.
Time for a barn sale, Maureen.
It's being,
Right.
there's a 4-page description. We're trying to make it 1 page, much like a
And you're
compost.
talking usable
Yes.
stuff,
Oh, yeah.
not,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
TVs you're trying to get
Right,
rid of. and-
right.
Okay. But the price is right.
Price is right.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Leaves us to announcements. Town is seeking volunteers, including for its cultural council, responsible for reviewing arts and culture grants, proposals, and improving projects. For other volunteer opportunities, please visit the town website. The town of Dalton currently has the following employment opportunities: town manager, and DPW motor equipment operator. Please visit the town website or contact the town manager's office for more information. Dalton's official meeting postings, agendas, and minutes can be reviewed at mytowngovernment.org/01226. The next meeting of the select board is scheduled to take place on Monday, June 16th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Dalton Senior Center with an option for remote participation. With that, gentlemen, sign the warrant, and then I'll call for adjournment.
Black pen on
Black pen.
Black pen?
I've got a whole bunch of them right here.
How come, what's the, what, black?
That's what I'm told.
Okay. I have a black.
Tom, can we get this posted tomorrow? I'll text Dan.
We have to have it posted.
And if Dan doesn't come in by 9, we'll go with the 4 signatures.
Yeah,
Okay?
oh yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna wait.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Dalton. Thank you.
We are adjourned.